All right, we're going to do a video analysis here for Chase. Let's take him through his mechanics. We got leg lift, little weight shift, ride down the mound, good extension, and follow through. Pretty solid. So let's take it from the top. Right here, what I like, starts balanced. Right, eyes on target. Comes up into leg lift. Right here, this hip movement, little shift action. Helps you get down the mound with gravity. Right, all good stuff. Now we go into a loaded back leg. Right here. Boom, boom. Loaded. Front leg is closed. Right, shoulders are pretty closed off. Eyes going to your target. Excellent. Now we're coming out of the glove. It looks a little bit late. See real time. Yeah, it looks a little bit late, which can throw off your timing. Right? Which is why I believe you're missing arm side sometimes, because since you're getting out of your glove late, it's hard to compensate for that time, especially with such an explosive lower half. So when we end up here out of the glove late, it's going to be hard to make up that time. But we'll continue anyway. Front side-wise, really strong front side. I really like this. All right, he comes out of the glove. He's in a position here where he's pointing at home plate. And then it's a hard tuck in to help with leverage. Right, so front side, I wouldn't touch at all. Now, we look at the arm path. So from here, we're seeing you get in a position where your arm is pretty much straight, going straight behind you. You're pulling that elbow that way, kind of like a scap pinch, it looks like, while you're trying to go forward. And what I'm seeing here as well is your back leg is loaded. You're in a really good position, really linear to go forward, right? But this front leg is starting to leak open. So that's going to cause some leakage in the hips over here, which you'll see. So now you're in a position here. And I know it's an artificial mound and you can even see it moving like frame to frame. You're in a position here where once you hit front foot strike, number one, it looks like you're landing toe first instead of heel first. So that's going to cause you to leak some energy as well. We want to land heel first to help us extend. And now when we're in this position here, see how our arm is late? Your arm is stuck back here and has to whip all the way around. You end up in this position here. Right, we're getting some arm drag action. I like the 90-degree angle. We just got there a little late. Right, now we're getting like fully open with the hips, but the back toe is still connected to the mound, so we're not totally firing our hips. And if we take a look here, where our shoulders are versus where our hips are, there's really not that much torque. So now when we go in the next frame, we can see that they're kind of moving in unison, the hips and shoulders. So we're not getting any separation there, but we're getting the arm to cock back a little bit, just like I said, a little bit late. And now as we take it to the next frame, now we're in a position where our hips are fully open and so is your shoulders, right? So it's literally following this line, the lines I have drawn where you're getting no hip to shoulder separation, right? So now you're landing in a position where you're pretty balanced, right? That front leg is nice and stable. Your arm is kind of trapped behind you because you were late. And now as we go forward, you end up in a position here where you look really strong front leg. When you release, get rid of that. When you release, we're getting good trunk action. right? So you're really strong in the front leg. That's definitely a big plus because we're seeing the leg here, right? You're going to see this go in as this goes forward. Here, you see that? Trunk comes up, front leg locks out. Everything's going this way. And we're seeing a little bit of overcompensation rotation this way as you come across. All right, just a little bit, nothing too major, but that's showing me that you're getting a lot of rotational energy, but we're not utilizing it in time. So you're kind of over-rotating at the end because you didn't use it in the pitching, in the actual throw, I should say. All right, so the biggest things for you are going to be, don't just reach forward with that front leg, right? When we're in this position here, this is actually a really good position. I would like this arm to be like here instead of here, so a little closer to the body, and then lead with the elbow up like you're doing in the arm path drills. Back leg loaded, I wouldn't change this at all. This is excellent. This is where we want to be. Front arm would not change at all. Front leg right here, I would like you like close like this as much as possible, because it kind of seems to me like you're leading with this front leg down the mound. And now when you're in a position where you land, right, this leg is just kind of dragging behind it and we're getting no torque in the midsection. So that's really what's hurting your velocity, man. Because you're already throwing pretty hard. You're super athletic, super explosive. You could tell you're a strong kid. Like you're exploding down the mound, but we're just not utilizing everything like we should be, right? So the action steps for you would be work on the arm path, right? Follow those drills I have laid out for you to get out of the glove, straight down, lead with the elbow up, get up to that 90-degree angle earlier. It's going to help you get out in front more, right? And then getting up in that position as we work on our med balls, working them both sides, as well as the T-spine mobility and hip mobility, that's going to help give us more room to play with in this area to get us more hip to shoulder separation as we come down the mound. And the big thing to be conscious of when you're doing those med ball drills is to push off the back hip to propel yourself forward to throw the med ball rather than just rotating up top, which a lot of people do. So we want to be conscious of building this lower half deliberately to explode forward when we're throwing the med ball. So if we build that lower half to do that muscle memory wise, then it will be easier to translate on the mound, which is obviously all that matters. Let me know if you have any questions. I know this is only your first breakdown, so we got some work to do, but definitely starting from a good space. Nice job, dude.